Hello everybody, my name is Joshua and I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Coffee, Cats, and King, where we discuss books both new and old. I will share with you pictures of my cats that will make you wish they were your cats, and I will drink enough coffee for me and everybody watching. The mug is a new one that, of all places, came from Michael's, and the shirt is a fun little shirt that I found at the thrift store the other day. I am here with a July TBR. This is a partial TBR anyway. It's just a few books to kind of get me started. I didn't want to plan the whole month out because it tends to not work so well for me. I am very much a mood reader, and I like the option of finishing a book and coming in here and kind of doing a deep dive of my shelves to find whatever I want to read next. So I do have, I think 6 books picked right now, with a potential 7th to the side. These are all physical books. I have not picked anything yet for my ebooks and audiobooks. When I have finished this group, we'll do another, almost like a mid-month TBR, I guess. I will also be back in a few days with my June wrap-up, where I talk about all those awesome books that I told you I was going to read in my previous video. Did get to all of them, although there were some DNFs involved as well. I do have my little helper here with me. Havoc is down here, and let me see if I can get him for you. Come here, buddy. Come on. I know you don't like to be held. You do not like to be held one bit. But here he is in all his squirmy worminess. Thank you for entertaining me and entertaining the people. So, without further ado, let's get into the books. Now, these are not necessarily in the order that I plan to read them. These are just the first 6 that I plan to read this month. So, end of June, I finished Sully Beach and the Dying Light. This is part of a trilogy, and I enjoyed it so much that I decided to jump right into the second, which is Sully Beach and the Hungry Souls. I have just started this. I'm only, like 20 pages in. First one was incredibly impressive, and I will talk about that, of course, in my upcoming wrap-up. This trilogy was on my little list at the beginning of the year of the 50 books that I had to read this year. So about time I start knocking some of those out. Actually, with what I have planned this month, I will be halfway into it. So I'm behind, but I plan to catch up on those. This will definitely help, though, because I ate up that first book very quickly, and I think it's going to be the same with the second. And then I anticipate jumping right into the third after that, which is Sully Beach and the Binding Blood. I love these covers, by the way. They're just absolutely gorgeous. First book is about a teenage girl named Sully Beach who, to keep it simple, witnesses a woman die, and when this woman dies, she seems to pass on some sort of strange power to Sully. She has this dying touch, if you will, where she can harm people and things accidentally or on purpose just by touching them. In addition to that, she sees and hears things that other people do not see and hear, and there's a bit more to it than that, but they are in the supernatural, really dark fantasy realm more than anything. The first book, there was a healthy dose of horror involved, and I fully expect that to continue on in the rest of the series. So I will definitely be getting to both of those, probably back to back. It's rare that I actually finish out a series. I think most of us probably have that issue, honestly, but I really need to get better about it, so I plan on knocking out this whole trilogy at one time if I can help it anyway. Other books for this, not too long ago, a few months ago maybe, I read an interesting little article where Stephen King was talking about his top 10 favorite novels, and one of them on there that very much caught my eye, very much intrigued me, was Catherine Ann Porter with Ship of Fools. And it was on my list to buy a copy. Paige and I went to the library over the weekend, and they had a copy. So I will be getting to this month as well. Not my typical read. This is much more of a literary fiction than the schlocky kind of stuff that I typically read. But every now and then I have to force this tiny little bit of matter up here to work a bit. And so this, I think, will do that. Again, with Stephen King's recommendation, there's no way I'm not going to love it, right? I also, in honor of King, of course, have to get to his new collection, You Like It Darker. I had it on pre-order, and I got it, and then, of course, it was June, and I kind of already had all my books planned out in June, so I was not able to read it. But I am definitely reading it in July. Cannot wait any longer for this. I love just about anything that King puts out, but his short story collections are just always absolutely stellar. This one, I don't think is going to be any different. I mean, I don't think King knows how to write a bad short story, honestly. They are always entertaining, if nothing else. This one has a story in it that is a follow-up to Cujo, which I find really interesting. I'm very curious to see what he does there. So this one you can expect to see this month. Now, I also asked both Paige and my sibling Shy to pick books for me. They just came in here, looked on the shelves, and grabbed something. So Shy's pick was Beasts and Beauty, Dangerous Tales by Soman Chainani. And this is one that I randomly picked up at Barnes & Noble because the cover was super awesome. And randomly, it was signed. So that was pretty cool. But this is one of those things that you hear me talk about a lot. Revamped fairy tales. I absolutely love them. Love fairy tale retellings. Always have, always will. If that is in the description somewhere, you automatically have my attention. So yeah, I'll be getting this one. Interestingly enough, separate from one another, both Shy and Paige picked books with wolves on the cover. Paige picked T.J. Klune's Wolf Song, which is a beautiful, beautiful book. I know this is the new trend, the new thing that everyone is doing, you know, where they put these gorgeous sprayed edges on them. Of course, then the argument is, hey, cool, you know, pretty sprayed edges, whatever, but unless you're putting them on your bookshelf like that, what good do they actually do, right? But I don't know, where are you on that debate? Do you think it's silly and a waste of time and energy, or do you think it adds to the aesthetic of the book in general and just makes you look that much fancier when you're out reading it? Let me know down below. But back to the book. This is part of a series by T.J. Klune. This is actually a werewolf shifter romance, which is not exactly my typical read, but I saw the book, loved the cover, and Shy was picking up a copy, and I decided, you know what, I'm also going to pick up a copy. And they had them buy one, get one half off, so we both ended up getting book 1 as well as book 2. There are, what, I think between 4 and 6 books in the series, though. Have not read anything by T.J. Klune just yet. I do have one other book, in the Lives of Puppets, I think it's called. Looking forward to getting that one eventually, because that is a retelling of Pinocchio, if I'm not mistaken. But starting out with this one, like I said, I'll be honest, when I picked up the book, I didn't realize that it was a shifted romance. But that's where we're at. Fantasy romance. It's part of my channel now, and not just pages, I guess. So, of course, out of, 1,000 books on my bookshelves, Paige grabs the one romance book. I think she planned it. So, yeah, it was a brief video here, but those are the 6 that I have planned for now. I don't know for sure that I will get to Raven's Song. Depends on how the first one goes, but it is here as a potential 7th for later in the month. As it stands, though, this is a very heavy fantasy month for me, actually. The Sully Beach books are definitely dark fantasy with horror elements, but dark fantasy first. Then 2 more fantasies with Beasts and Beauty and Wolf Song. And then just the one singular, you can't even call it horror, because this is short stories from this guy, so you don't even know what to expect. It could be horror. There could be westerns involved. I mean, you really don't know with King what you're getting in a short story collection. And then this guy, which is way out of my element. So, weird sort of start to the month. But definitely an interesting change of pace. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Those are the 6 books that I have picked. This is the adorable kitten that was helping me as I filmed. And that is going to wrap it up for this video. Quick one this time. I will be back soon with a longer one, because I always take a long time talking about these books that I have finished. But this is kind of catching us up here. I hope you all had a wonderful June and are having a wonderful start to your July. I hope to talk to you down in the comments, catch up. As always, if you're looking for recommendations, let me know. And if you have recommendations, please as well let me know. So, thank you all for joining me. Stay safe. Drink great coffee. Cheers.